Welcome to Abel Farm. I'm a network engineer in Luanda who decided to venture into poultry farming, and here I am with almost 1,000 chickens. Today we have already given them feed. Okay, we are in the course of our week 15, and you can see them right healthy, shiny, and they are all in a very good mood. As I speak, they are looking at me, trying to figure out what is going on, but I'm just recording. It's all good. Yes, I wanted to share with you how I am trying to maintain uniformity among the birds. It has been now 15 weeks, and all along there has been a lot of challenges and also achievements, as you can see. So I wanted to share with you 4 main things that I'm trying to do to maintain, or that I've already done, right, and I will still keep up doing in order to maintain uniformity among the birds. And number 1 is what I struggled with in the first 3 weeks of their age, and that is in the distribution of the drinkers and feeders. Before I was using these feeders here, this type of feeder. I think another one is here. Another one is this one. Okay. Before I was using this, and they were spilling the feed all along the litter, and it was a very difficult thing to control who is eating, who is not eating, but not really the feeder, but also the drinkers. I think the biggest challenge was not really on the feeder, but the drinkers, because I was improvising the drinkers with those 5-liter bottles, and even had drinkers. Let me show you. Yes. So I even had drinkers that looked like this, right? And I'd put a 5-liter bottle here, so the chickens were drinking all around here. But it was not sustainable because water was spilling all over the litter, and the litter was constantly wet, and that provoked a lot of issues, and one of them being uniformity, and another issue was on the mortality rate that I had at the beginning. So once I solved this issue by buying these manufactured feeders and drinkers. As you can see behind me, my dad is now giving them the drinks. Now we are only using those manufactured drinkers. So the issue of uniformity started to actually improve. The second issue I've encountered that affected a lot in terms of uniformity is the quality of feed that I was buying from a supplier locally here. A big supplier, actually, a brand that is actually well known. In terms of the feed information, I could see it was providing like I think 22% of protein, which was really what I was looking for, given the management guidelines of these birds. But over the first 3 weeks, in week 1, they closed with 44 grams. In week 2, they closed with 78 grams, which was astonishing and very difficult situation to manage for me. And so I started to mix my own feed. And guess what? In the first week of mixing and giving my own feed, they've gained 100 grams. And that's when I never looked back again. I started to produce and mix my own feed from that moment. And how did I detect that feed was not providing me the results that I wanted? It is by simply looking at the management guidelines. So every week the management guidelines was telling me that these birds should gain 100 kgs. And I was making sure the number of feeders, even though we were going with this model, was correct. I was making sure the number of feeders and all the birds are feeding themselves. and I was trying to also improve on the drinkers, but none of the birds were reaching those targets. So that was a red flag for me, because if the issue is not with the feed, you'll find that some birds are really achieving the targets and other birds are way behind. So that's when I realized that if no birds is achieving the targets, then the issue is probably with the feed. And when I changed it, it immediately skyrocketed the weight gain. And that's when I realized, okay, if I can make my own feed of this quality and this cheap, then I can move on. So I will have to record another video to explain to you how I've been able to also reduce the feed cost by making my own feed and mixing a very, I would say, a very good quality feed, right? That allows you to keep up with the management guidelines and the target weights that you have to get every single week. Another thing that I realized it is very important to maintain uniformity is deworming. And when I say deworming, is you being able to watch the behavior of your birds and detecting anomalies in their pool, right? Detecting anomalies in some of them that are not behaving well, and you activating the deworm. So you give them an antibiotic, right, that improves the overall condition of their digestive and respiratory tract. That's helped me a lot to keep them very active, right, every single week. And those weeks where we had challenges where they are not active, they decrease in how much they are feeding themselves. That's when you activate the antibiotics before seeing a lot of mortality. So deworming is a very important activity, because also even if the birds are very active, but when worms are inside them, it really hinders their growth. And you see the range when you weight them. Some of them will be like let's say if some of them will be like 200 grams behind those that are performing well. That's when you know things are not going very well with one of the things, either the number of feeders and how they're feeding them, either the quality of the feed, or the overall health is not there. And the fourth thing I've been doing to maintain uniformity is, I think, the ultimate thing you can do, and that is to separate them, right? If you see the range is too much, you have to separate them, and one group which will remain, for example, the group that remain here is the group of those that are waiting well, and the group that I sent there is the group of those that are lacking in terms of their weight. So that happened, and what I did is to change the feed formula for those that are waiting below the threshold. And what I did is to increase in their protein, to decrease maybe the weight meal. The weight meal that I give, I'm giving them, it has to be like very low. And for these ones, if I want them to go slowly, right, so that those could come and catch up in terms of their weight, I could increase their weight meal and so on and so forth. So these are the 4 tips I'm doing to keep up with a uniform bird flock, and so far I can see really good results, because those that are separate from these ones, I think we only have like 1 week to go, so they can really catch up and have a very normal and uniform flock. It's a very interesting challenge, and it's one of the things you as a manager of the farm has to constantly do, because the staff here, they only care about feeding them, they only care about biosecurity, like turning the litter every week. For example, here we turn the litter every 3 days. Every 3 days my staff is turning the litter to make sure their waste is mixed with the litter itself. So the staff here, they only care about those things. They don't know anything about performance, right? The little they know about performance is when the birds are not eating very well. So they will tell you, no, this week they've not been eating so well. There might be something going on. Come and see what is going on. But the overall situation is actually in your hand, and in this case the overall situation of their health is in my hand. I come here every weekend, I weight them, I see the performance, I look at the coloration of their waist, I look at the behavior, and I judge if everything is going well with what we are giving them. I look at the notes, right? How they are feeding them, when they are feeding them, and so on. And I judge if the situation is all good, and if we should remain with the same things, or if there are changes to make in that particular week. It is still my job, even if I am not the one who is constantly looking at them on a daily basis. So that was it for this video. Very active. I cannot even take one. Okay, you can see. Okay, that was it for this video. I just wanted to take one, hold it. Thank you for watching. You can see how healthy they are, how shiny she is, right? Very good. I've done also the baking. I will tell you the story behind the baking them and how I've been able to do it. We don't have electricity here, and we did something interesting to debake them. You can see, I think I did it the right way. Let me show you. Yeah, you can see that. So very good. Yeah, thank you for watching this video. Keep supporting by subscribing, commenting, and liking. Thank you very much. We keep along the journey, and we are not going back until they start producing eggs and so on. Thank you very much for watching.